All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really incredible, powerful curriculum. It's called Rhymes to Resilience: 7 Secrets to Mental Health and Wellness. Now, right off the bat, I need you to know this isn't your standard run-of-the-mill stress management seminar. Not at all. It's an innovative, deeply multi-layered framework built entirely on ancient mechanisms, and it is explicitly designed to take you from just being a passive observer in your own life to becoming the active architect of your destiny. We're going to explore exactly how this program takes buried emotional trauma and literally transforms it into published creative sovereignty. We have to begin with this incredibly provocative hook from the very first moments of the curriculum. It challenges participants right out of the gate with a pretty harsh truth. Virtually every aspect of your life is controlled by writers. Just think about that for a second. From the ads that convinced you to buy your phone, to the algorithms and social media feeds shaping your thoughts right now, writers rule the world. So you're either the controlled consumer, or, well, you pick up the pen and become the controller. So who is the visionary behind all this? That would be TyGrayEL. He's a certified stress management therapist, but as Dr. Evelyn Bethune notes in her endorsement, his unique ability to translate ancestral wisdom into modern clinical healing has actually earned him the esteemed title of griot, a traditional storyteller and historian. TyGrayEL is really the architect here. He's the one who has unearthed and recalled these ancient secrets, bringing them directly to modern populations who, quite frankly, desperately need them today. And to actually deliver these profound tools to the community, Ty founded Poem Spoken Word Ministries, which is a registered 501c3 nonprofit. Their entire focus is on the sheer, raw power of the spoken word. The organization provides the structural foundation for youth and historically underserved communities to achieve deep emotional literacy, cultural enrichment, and real community leadership, all through intensive narrative expression. But, to truly appreciate his methods, we first have to quantify the heavy burden of modern stress. 70,000. Yeah, that is the approximate number of thoughts the human mind has to process every single day. That's an absolutely staggering amount of data, emotion, and background noise just constantly firing across our neural pathways. And that number brilliantly illustrates the core problem here. Because we don't actively process all 70,000 of those thoughts, a vast amount of them turn into what the curriculum cleverly calls BAAG, baggage and accumulated garbage. This is that incredibly heavy mental load of unmanaged stress and chaotic emotional trauma. It's fueled every single morning by what they call the daily siren. The blaring traffic, the negative news cycle, random interpersonal conflicts. It all just piles up into this psychological baggage that really holds us down. Okay, moving into Section 1, Tools of the Workshop of the Mind, 7,000-year-old secrets hidden in plain sight. So, what exactly are these sacred secrets? Obviously, these aren't physical pieces of hardware you're going to go buy at a store. They're profound psychological metaphors used for internal construction and character building. We're talking about the square, the compass, the axe, the hammer, the plane, the chisel, and the ladders. By internalizing these specific concepts, participants learn to actively shape their own thoughts rather than constantly being shaped by them. Let's break a couple of these down so you get the vibe. Take the concept of the compass. In this curriculum, the compass represents our ability to establish really firm boundaries. It's used to draw circles around our passions and desires, keeping them within safe, productive bounds so they don't ultimately consume us or lead to destructive behaviors. It's about focused control. And then on the flip side, we have the axe. This tool is employed internally to decisively sever all those dysfunctional behaviors, limiting thoughts, and unmanaged anger that hold us back from our true potential. When a participant recognizes a toxic habit or maybe a societal label that just doesn't serve them, they use this psychological axe to completely chop it away from their character's foundation. All right, Section 2, The Science of the Pen, Modern Clinical Backing for Ancient Wisdom. The really crucial point here is understanding this shift from cognitive load to cognitive offloading. Through targeted writing and poetry exercises, participants actively move chaotic emotional trauma out of their brain circuits and physically onto the page. And this isn't just nice in theory. Mechanically, it literally signals the human nervous system to lower its threat response. It takes the invisible weight of that beige we just talked about and turns it into a manageable, physical, external object. Plus, the curriculum heavily leverages something called kinesthetic coding. The actual physical act of pushing ink onto paper activates the brain's reticular activating system, or RAS. This forces your brain to filter out all that background static and process deep emotions through motor, visual, and language circuits all at the exact same time. You aren't just thinking about your stress anymore. You are mechanically writing over it. It's a total game changer. Which brings us to Section 3, the 4-week protocol, a step-by-step roadmap to sovereignty. The protocol follows this highly deliberate, deeply structured 4-week journey. Week 1 starts with physical grounding. Week 2 moves into creative visualization and really identifying those emotional bags. Week 3 gets super aggressive with identity redesign. And finally, Week 4 culminates in a live narrative recital where participants actually vocalize their new scripts to the community. Let's actually zoom in on Week 1 for a second. The immediate goal here is to break through the apathy and tension that participants usually bring into the room. It starts with somatic grounding using a 7-second deep breathing rule to literally expel poisonous carbon dioxide and physically calm the nervous system. Once they're calm, they immediately begin mapping their triggers, writing all about that daily siren, which essentially forces them to push past creative paralysis and perform their very first Palm log entry right then and there. And this perfectly sets up the massive shift that happens by Week 3. The protocol attacks those devastating societal labels placed on underserved youth and adults. I mean, TyGrayEL himself was once formally labeled ineducatable by the school system. By directly confronting words like idiot, miscreant, or ADHD, the curriculum completely strips away their power. Participants replace those destructive labels with narrative sovereignty. They officially claim the title of controller and architect of their own lives. Section 4. Achieving Narrative Sovereignty, the Global Anthology Pipeline. You see, upon graduating this 4-week protocol,